Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 23rd of December. So last day of this trading year for me. I won't be trading and won't be coming onto the videos or doing videos right the way through now until the 3rd or the 4th of from January even. It's December, let's just make it a full year off, eh? So quite a reasonable stretch through. I don't trade across the Christmas period personally. The volumes can be very thin and the volatility can be a bit snatchy and a bit crazy, so it's not for me. Anyway, we should take a break. It's important to take a break and plan, etc., and this is a good time to do it. So let's have a look at the what's coming out today. In fact, let's just pop this on here. Get the right day would be good, and you'll see that there's only very light for, GDP for Canada at 130, and the core personal consumption expenditure there for the US. Now that will be watched quite closely, so watch out for that figure. It's quite key. It's one of the numbers that now is being used a lot by the Feds when they're making their rate decisions, so be careful with that one. Okay, if you're going to be trading it, if you're still around to trade it at that time, great. It may be such a volatile day on that basis that it goes miles. I don't know. We'll see. It went a long way last time. Right, let's get on and look at the markets themselves. Starting off with currencies as ever. Euro still staying in its range. It did try and pop out the bottom here a little bit, and perhaps if I leveled this off, it'd probably be showing you it's all gone a bit horizontal now. There we go. So it's all gone a bit flat. Well, we knew it was travelling within this range. This top of the range should be a bit there, and there we go. They're pretty much a channel, a sideward channel. Not much fun trying to do too much in this. For a lot of our trading time, we're often seeing it. Let me just put this into an alley for a moment. We're seeing it chop. Yesterday, really chopping for a long period of the day and then moving. Okay, yes, after the event it doesn't look too bad, but it's not good, and it's not good and easy to trade to. So it's the euro anyway. It's not a pair I'd be looking to try and trade today if I'm going to trade anything, and it's probably a no-show. It's fine to stay in cash, as I keep on reminding. At the moment, the pound here, the 4-hourly picture here, is pushing up. Had a good old day on it yesterday, moving down quite solidly, and I actually traded the pound yen, which also moved down. This actually moved down nicer than the pound yen in terms of technical price action, but it was very, very simple movements, and rolled over perfectly. Today, well, I would be, let's just be drawing this across here. If this was everything was normal, I would be thinking, well, okay, if we get a movement back into this sort of area, I'd be looking to short the opportunities to short. But as I say, today I'm most likely not going to be doing too much, if anything. Just want to hold on to the profits made during the year. US dollar yen, let's just come out the time frames here. You can see it's just still consolidating around its lows here. It did come off a little bit, but mostly at this moment just working its way, still in its huge flag. It's sort of sitting in now, and just again consolidation. No fun with these. The Aussie dollar did a lovely move yesterday. I'm more likely to show you that than what's happening today, because today, well, it's in no man's land effectively. It's neither one way or t'other at the moment, and it could be a patience game. But yesterday, well, if you looked at the shorter time frames, I did a video recently on divergences. If you looked at the lower time frames, you'd see the divergence over the top there. It was a classic in terms of breaking down here. You could have taken a later entry, but it was I often refer to, let me just get my pen for this, often refer to taking the lows, the shorts below the lows in between a divergence. It's the safest place to do it. Someone yesterday asked me about, well, don't you get less risk reward when you do that? Yeah, you're not in at the first part of a movement for sure, but in terms of this target would have been and I say would have been because I missed it. I was trading the dollar yen at the time. I was setting up on the dollar yen, so actually missed this one. We did talk about it in trade room actually, but this, as it happened, it is about 4 to 1. It's 22 pips, or 3 to 1 maybe. In terms of risk, would have been up here, and that would have been the obvious target. Now a lot of people say, well, why didn't you let it run? Well, because you don't know it's going to run. You've got targets. One thing is that it's got a good probability of hitting daily pivot. Today we've already hit the daily pivot. It's a case of where it's running, and yep, we could be drawing trend lines around these areas and looking for breakdowns in the direction it was going, but it's not really being overly clear on the direction it is going. So that's the dollar yen, the Aussie dollar for today. Patience, as I say, trends maybe wait for it to break if you're going to be trading it. US dollar CAD, let's come out the bigger time frames here. It continues to chop, really ugly looking, and it's just not good at the moment. 4 hourlies, it was sort of drifting to the downside, had a decent rally yesterday, and then drifting back south again at the moment. Lower highs coming through here, edging towards the downside. Maybe we finished a year off on a buzz for the Canadian dollars. Remember, this is US CAD, so the US weakening here against the CAD. Maybe we'll see it push on forwards, but chances are post 8 o'clock it will completely reverse and run back upwards. Either way, the market's not that clear, and if it's not that clear, it's best not to be trading it. I'm not going to go through the other pairings here. Let's switch across to look at the let's have a look at gold first. Gold remains, I was talking about this yesterday, in terms of its price action, chopping as anything, and yesterday ended up coming back south again. It looked at one stage, it was consolidating around the highs, it looked like it was okay, but it's rolled over today. Well, it could be back on for the upside at this rate. It's not overly liking it, haven't traded it for a while, don't like these ranges. I'd rather be trading in trend, so I just leave it alone. Okay, oil, oops, let's get the right one. There we go. So oil, it did push up a little bit more yesterday, but then rolled over. It's not a particularly great day in the for it yesterday. There was the morning session. It did break up, ran into its daily 34 as it was there. Coming down the time frames here to the hourlies, and you just see it just sort of ran into that. That was it. It was exhausted and started rolling over in the afternoon. Today, well, it's consolidated and not really going anywhere or giving any too much of a clue away. Okay, let's switch back up here. A quick look through the Asian markets for those that trade them. Well, you've probably already traded them. CSI 300 already. Well, it's managed a bit of an up day, but it's a down day overall. It's shown us a green candle because it gapped down. It's filled the gap, but still lower than yesterday's close there. Again, Nikkei is not looking great at the moment at all. It's continuing this sort of break to the downside, this aggressive, I say, hawkish comments coming from the Bank of Japan has left the equity market looking very soft. Nifty 50, well, and what was the darling of the Asian markets is continuing to roll over at the moment, and maybe looking at this, it's just got further downside. Really is soft. Coming across to the S&Ps and the minis here. Yesterday couldn't hold on to its gains. It pretty much ran into the double top for the day there, and just really couldn't do too much about it, and just rolled. It's hardly a Santa Claus rally, is it? But it might still come next week. But for now, the Dow, very similar sort of picture. Down day yesterday, looking quite iffy, and the Nasdaq an even bigger down day yesterday. I've talked about this quite a lot lately in terms of if you want to be on the short side of the US equity markets, the Nasdaq is just that bit weaker than the others, and is seeming to give us some decent chunky moves down relatively. Okay, this morning the DAX is slightly up at the moment. It's just come through the time frames of this one, a little berry sort of flag. It just looks soft, and coming back to the dailies, it's getting into a bit of a mess, but really largely, there's a bearish engulfing candle yesterday. It is looking softer, and look, coming down to this hourly, it looks like it could just roll over. Now I'd wait until post 8 o'clock, give it a little while, and that might be an opportunity on the downside. Okay, FTSE, finally the FTSE. FTSE consolidation continues. Here it's picking up a little bit this morning, and the futures here. Maybe it'll push on through there, but it's not the prettiest either. So sort of looking at the shape of the pattern here, this sort of almost bear flag wedgie sort of pattern, looking for the break of the lows. Maybe if it starts selling off, well, it might be a go with to the downside for now. Bigger picture though, it's a bit mixed. It's yeah, a bit mixed, I think, is the best description of it. Okay, finally, as it's the end of the year, the end of my trading year, just look at the crypto markets briefly. Bitcoin just really not doing too much at all. It will be traded right the way through. For those foolish enough to be wanting to trade it through, then it could be as mucky as anything, but I expect the volumes would be very light. It could be horribly volatile at times, but all these markets just looking really weak at the moment, and well, maybe it'll be some people trying to get out of their crypto markets during the holidays as they make their New Year's resolutions. We'll see. Anyway, on that lovely note, I wish you all a very happy Christmas and a great New Year, healthy and prosperous. Thanks very much, Miko. So no trading for me at all until I think it's 3rd or the 4th. In fact, I'll just have a quick look on my calendar here. I'm not rushing back to get into something that's going to be not really moving too much. The 4th, Wednesday the 4th, I think I'll come back on. So I look forward to seeing you then. Have a happy Christmas, as I say. Happy New Year. Bye for now.